Hi everyone, Linda here. I'm the teacher of a class called Knit My First Sweater, which is a little jumper that we make in class from the top down and with a circular yoke. You can see the shape of it there. So what I'd like to do in this video is just to recap some of the things we cover in class, including the casting on, the make one left that we do for the increases or make one right, and the picking up, putting the sleeves on hold, picking up the sleeve stitches, and finishing this little jumper. So I'd like to start the first video. I'll separate the videos out, I think, into different ones, and the first one that I'll do is just show how you put the sleeve stitches on hold, because that's the one that everyone wants the most. I'll see you back here shortly. Okay, I'm back. So I have here a prepared yoke. I've done the cast on and all the increases, and I have 100 stitches on this 40 centimeter, 6.5 40 centimeter needle, which is measured tip to tip. It's a 12 to 14 ply yarn. This jumper sample again. What we're doing now is taking these stitches off and putting them on hold, and then continuing in the round on just the body. Then we'll come back and pick up those stitches and knit the sleeves. Okay, so that's where we're here. Now here's your yoke. Okay, so let's do that. Now there are a few ways. In the pattern it says to slip 16 stitches onto waste yarn, and what that means is to get some actual yarn from another ball, preferably in a different color, so that you can really see it well. If you use something that's nice and smooth, it will be easier later to pick up the stitches again. But this is just what I had on hand, which is the same ply as the wool that I'm using, but it doesn't have to be. A smooth cotton is usually a good way to go. Some people even use dental floss. Anyway, what you would do is just stick your tapestry needle in and take the stitches off the needle, and you do that for the whole 16 stitches. Thread onto your spare wool, tie a knot just to get it out of the way, and then continue on. But there are nicer ways of doing that. If you have the tools, you can, and I find it easier to pick up stitches later if you use these tools rather than picking the stitches up off the wool. You can use these short circular stitch holders, which are supplied by Clover. I'll just grab the packet to show you. You can see it here. Circular stitch holder, short. They do sell long ones as well, which are good for body stitches, but for this purpose, these short ones are fine. And so what you would do is just, again, slip the stitches on one at a time and feed them onto your nylon cord. That's what I will do in a moment, but I just wanted to show you that there are some other methods as well. You could also use the fancy new barber cords, but I don't have any of those. So I'm sure someone else will show you how to use those on the internet. The alternative then, probably my favorite method actually, is using a spare circular needle from an interchangeable needle. So I just pop one needle on it so that I can feed them through, and then when I'm done on the ends, I use these stitch stoppers, so that secures the stitches on the needle. And then when you're ready to do the sleeves, you can just attach your needles and off you go. I don't have any large interchangeable needles though. These happen to be fixed. So today I will use the short circular. So here we go. And I would have used these to demonstrate in class as well. So I'll just pop that out. Excuse me. And put this in. 1, 2. So I'm taking off 16, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stitches. And I'm going to secure those closed. These are really great because they've got a little hole, and you just stick the needle in and you can pull it closed like that. Brilliant, actually. And then you tuck that inside the project and get it out of the way. People in my class have asked if you can use those old fashioned safety pin ones that you used to use when I had straight needles, but really I don't think they're a good idea on a circular project, because these stitches need to stay nice and round like this, which you can with that flexible nylon cord. If they're on those stiff safety pin type ones, you can just pull things a bit too much. Right, so the next step is to do the backwards loop cast on. And that's not as scary as it sounds. It's just as simple as making a loop, a twist like that, and then putting it on the needle and pulling it tight. So that's one, oops, two, split. This yarn's been unraveled so many times. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you join again, because the next instruction says to knit 34 stitches, which will be the back. So now we just knit that first stitch on the other side. That's 1, 2, I'm going to knit 34 all the way around. And so you can see here what I've done is you've just created a hole for your sleeves, and they're going to stay on hold there like that until you finish the body, and then we're going to go around and do the other sleeve. So I'm a continental knitter, so I will just do that so I can do it quickly. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, and now we're at the other side, so directly opposite the other sleeve. Okay, we're going to get the other circular holder. Oops, camera, sorry. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The stitches are all higgledy-piggledy because I've, like I said before, unraveled this project many times. I do it for every class. And one day the wool's going to wear out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Pull that through. Close it up. And do the backwards loop cast on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get away. Come and work on it. There, and we're rejoined, and we're done. So here we go. We've got our 2 sleeves, and now we're back in the round, and we should have the right number of stitches. Which do I say? You should have 16 stitches on hold for each sleeve and 80 stitches, including the newly cast on stitches for the body. So that should be easy to knit on a 40 centimeter circular needle until you finish the body. So you're just going around and around and around, and you'll cast off the bottom, and then we'll come back and pick up these sleeve stitches. So I'll just keep knitting. I just wanted to add, as you go around and you're knitting that first row, when you come to these cast on stitches, sometimes they look a bit loosey-goosey, strange, so don't worry about it, is the message that I want to tell you. If you just knit through those stitches like that and keep going, what happens is they sort themselves out. Let's have a look. At the end, you might end up with a tiny little bit of a hole here and here, but in the lesson, I go through, and you'll see in another video, and explain how to close up that gap a little bit before when you go to pick up those sleeve stitches. And then if it's not fully closed, even after doing my little trick, you can just sew in the end later, because you'll have when you pick up stitches, you're going to have a tail here, and you'll use that to just sew up those little holes. It's very common. I'll show you on the finished jumper that you cannot see them later. Not really. There's very little holage. Maybe that's a tiny bit bigger, but it's under the armpit, so it doesn't matter. Don't worry. Relax.